Auston Kim is with us now at the 2025 KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Austin, a nice start for you, one under. What are some highlights from your first round?
Yeah, I made a lot of really good putts today. I feel like my proximity to the hole was really good. Um, I also hit a lot of bad shots, so it's kind of unfortunate how many bogeys that I made today. But it's a major course, it's a major week. Conditions are really tough, so I'm pretty proud of the fight that I put up today, and I made a lot of birdies.
Perfect, thank you. Sarah?
What is it that makes this golf course so difficult for maybe fans watching at home or those of us that haven't gotten to play it yet?
I think the most difficult thing is dealing with the heat. There were times where like I had to lock in really hard just because the heat is taking a toll on you, and you kind of want to just get into a daze, and it's hard to focus. But the heat was probably the hardest part, and then hitting the fairways. I had to chop it out of the rough twice today, including on the last hole, and I thought I was gonna make double for sure, but I managed to make a really good bogey, and um, like the wind was making the greens really hard to hold. I definitely hit a couple of shots that spun a lot more than I thought they would, and they managed to hold. But I was watching coverage this morning, and it looked like balls were just continuing to roll, especially on holes that were downwind. And you'd think that holes that are playing downwind would be easier just because you're closer to the green. But if you have a bit of an awkward yardage or you're in between two clubs, then you could knock it through the green or end up hitting it short and having a super long putt.
You told me at the U.S. Women's Open that you were reminding yourself that you belonged in these big situations. Having played well, obviously through your LPGA Tour career, and when you get into a place like this, how do you kind of continue to remind yourself that you do belong among this kind of a field?
Yeah, I know I'm kind of in the nascent stages of my pro career, but I'm learning a lot. I'm definitely gaining a lot of experience and gaining a lot of confidence. I'm also working really hard on my mental game, and there were a couple of times where I got really upset today, but I was able to reset and try to try to make the next shot as best as possible, better than the last one. So it's just a matter of staying in it. Like I watch a ton of men's golf, and like JJ Spawn said last week after he won, like you don't have to do anything spectacular. You don't have to hit superhero shots. You just have to stay in it. And I feel like that's such good advice for a course that's playing as hard as this one this week. Like I don't have to pull off these superhuman shots. I just need to hit fairways and greens, and if I make par, great. Like I know I'm probably gaining partial strokes anyways, and those will add up at the end of the week.
Beth Ann?
What is the process of a mental reset for you? What do you do?
Yeah, I let myself feel the emotions. I'm a bit of a yapper. I yap at the ball. So if you're standing right by me, I'm saying a lot of things to my golf ball, but I talk it out. I say what I want to say about the shot, and then that I feel like that helps me accept what's just happened. And there was a lot of yapping today, but I feel like if I talk it out and kind of let those emotions through me, then it gives me a chance to get through it, and I feel more prepared for the next one. I think acceptance is key for me, and like any sports psych will say, like just feel the emotions, try to accept the outcome, and make the next shot better.
Who is your mental coach?
Rick Sessinghouse.
Oh, yeah.
Jim?
You talk about making a good bogey on 18. There's a crazy stat out there. I think more double bogeys than birdies at 18. Tell us about that hole. Where's the dangers?
Yeah. The other two girls that I was playing with today were walking up to scoring, and we were just like shaking our heads at how hard that hole was playing. But I think it's the fact that carrying that bunker is about 245 with a bit of crosswind today. For a lot of people, like you can't really carry that with a 3-wood. I mean, I ended up hitting 5-wood today just because I was warm and sweaty, and the wind was kind of down, and I ended up getting the worst break possible. The ball, like, it landed in the rough, and then it sunk down into like the base of the grass, and my caddy was saying, like, mark it and see if it's embedded. It was not embedded. It was in grass that was probably like this long. So I ended up having to chop out, missed it into the bunker, saved up and down. But I think it's the fact that you don't have a lot of room to stop your tee shot after that bunker that's in the middle of the fairway. It's about a 245 carry, and then it's 285 to the end of the fairway, if I'm remembering correctly. So that only gives you about 40 yards of area to try and stop your tee shot. And one of my playing partners, she hit a really good drive, but it went out a little bit hot and ended up hitting the downslope and rolling through, and she had to chop out backwards. So, I mean, with you saying that there were more double bogeys than birdies on that hole, I can completely understand. I can completely see it. I just don't think there's enough area for people to stop their tee shots and have a solid approach into that green. And the pin was tucked left today, so all those bunkers come into play. I mean, if you're in the two right bunkers, then it's not that bad of a shot, but if you end up kind of in line with the pin, short, or even left of the pin, then
No green.
yeah, not much area.
Great. Thanks for your time, Austin. We appreciate it.